Microsoft is in the news today with Outer Worlds 2 and the change of price when they went up to $80 and now they're going back down to $70, using literally the same excuse with the current market conditions line that they did when they decided it was going to be $80, but then everyone hated that. So now they're going back down to $70 and trying to be like the hero, saying, oh wow, we're such good, nice corporation because we're bringing down the game to $70, but they're the ones who brought it up to $80. So I don't know what they're trying for this, but it's good that it's going to be $7. I still think $70 is not a good price for AAA video games nowadays, but it's whatever. We're going to be on PC Gamer today. This is written by Tyler Wilde. Thank you for the article. It'll be linked down in the description if you'd like to check it out for yourself. So the title goes, Microsoft backs away from the $80 games, drops the Outer Worlds 2 price to $70 in line with current market conditions. We at the Earth Directorate have worked with Redacted to revise the price of Outer Worlds 2, Obsidian joked. Now, I just want to say, Outer Worlds 1 was a $60 game, if I remember, or was it a $60 game? Maybe it was a half price game, because it was a AA game when it originally came out, before Microsoft bought Obsidian, because Outer Worlds 1 wasn't published by Microsoft, it was published by someone else. And honestly, Outer Worlds 1 isn't a AAA game. Like, it is a AA game at its finest. Like, the first half of the game is good, but like the longer the game goes on, the more you realize it's a lot of reused assets. The guns, the upgraded versions of guns and like the higher tier guns are just a name change and stat change. The models don't change. So it was very much a double A game and not a AAA game. And I hope Outer Worlds 2 is going to be more AAA because they are backed by Microsoft now. So it's going to be a little bit weird because I feel like Obsidian works really well in the AA space, but the problem is now they're backed by Microsoft. So you're not really expecting AA games from Microsoft unless they're trying to release more games more often, which is what I thought Microsoft's plan was. But then they started closing everyone down. So I don't know, but I doubt they closed down Obsidian. There'd be such an uproar if they tried to close down Obsidian. So yeah. Just before we get into the article, I'd like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. If you do, 95% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so I really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to support me directly, I have a Patreon linked in the description as well if you would like to join the credits of any of these videos. When asked how it could be justify an $80 price tag for upcoming RPG The Outer Worlds 2, developer Obsidian had a sympathetic response, asked Microsoft. Asked, we all did, and it seems that Xbox overlords eventually agreed with the public's bafflement, or at least didn't like the look of the Outer Worlds 2's pre-order numbers, because Obsidian's announced today that the price will be now $70. And like I said earlier, I think Outer Worlds 2, I don't even agree with the $70 price tag for AAA games, but because at least for a lot of AAA games, excluding some exceptions, it doesn't even feel like you're getting a full game anymore, because there's a battle pass in it and the microtransactions in it and DLC, and like they're still charging you for literally everything in the game like a free-to-play game, and for some reason they think it's fine to up the price anyway. So this is the official tweet, or I think this is on Blue Sky technically. Dear Galactic citizens, we have received an SOS via Skip Drone asking about the price. As an organization devoted to make sure that corporations do not go unfettered, we at the Earth Directorate have worked with Redacted to revise the price of the Outer Worlds 2. And the pre-orders are now $69.99 from the $79.99, which is good. Yeah, this is on Blue Sky. And that's the Blue Sky. That's literally just this quote from the thing. The price has been updated on the Outer Worlds 2 Steam page. It wasn't long before the big jump from $60 to $70 that Nintendo got the ball rolling on the new $80 standard with Mario Kart World. It looks like Microsoft's eagerness to follow suit has subsided as the company told Windows Central that it will keep full-priced holiday releases at $70, which says in line with current market conditions. I still don't even agree with the $60 to $70 because it feels like AAA games have gone down in quality, and they shouldn't be costing consumers more because the games suck even harder. So because even though the price has went up, the quality has gone down and the microtransactions are now being added in all the games. I think Ubisoft is probably the biggest hit on this. And another big thing is that I don't even know why Microsoft is doing this, because I feel like Outer Worlds 2 is going to be on Xbox Game Pass day one. So like the majority of the people aren't even going to buy this game. They're just going to play it on Game Pass, I feel like. So I don't even know why they even bother sometimes when it's going to be day one on Game Pass. And I just disagree with the whole pricing stuff for AAA games in general because they're just too expensive for what we're getting now. And this is even coming from a field of like, I think indie games are not, they should cost, some indie games don't charge enough, in my opinion. Like the games that are $15, you could probably charge 20 to 25, but like those games, like, you know, it's a small team generally and you want to give those people money. But for these AAA developers, you're not giving the devs the money. Like, I don't even understand why they, I mean, it's for stocks and shareholders and all that stuff. We know why, but you know, it's stupid. This year's other Obsidian RPG, Avowed, released at $70 and is also available on Game Pass. As new Microsoft games are by default these days, less than 6 months after launch, Avowed was discounted to $46.89 during the Steam summer sale. Yeah, it's like, I just don't understand Microsoft's, when Microsoft did this for Outer Worlds 2, it made no sense because it doesn't really seem that they care about people buying their games anymore, because what they want is Xbox Game Pass to grow. And they also want to charge things for like the Steam and Epic Games Store and a PlayStation Store sometimes as well. So it feels kind of weird that they are looking into pricing games higher, because I feel like you just sell more games at the lower price point. And I still think $60 US dollars is fine for AAA games, especially the games that are coming out from Microsoft right now, because they're not really AAA games. They're more AA games with marketing, at least for the games that we've been getting from Microsoft recently, because most of it is just Obsidian, because apparently Microsoft has shut down everyone else. So, and even though I love Obsidian games, they're AA games. They're not AAA games. So it's weird to me that they were also trying to follow Nintendo with charging more, because Nintendo is in its own little universe. They can charge $80 for Nintendo games because they're in their own universe. They have their own customer base, and a lot of people who buy Nintendo games are just Nintendo fans. So they're going to buy those games, not necessarily no matter what, but those are the video games they're going to buy. They're not necessarily going to buy other video games, so they're going to be saving up for those video games. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of crossover between Nintendo fans and general gaming fans, but the core Nintendo audience, especially with the Switch and Switch 2, they're Nintendo fans, not necessarily video game fans. So they're probably a little bit different when it comes to the upping the market price. But for Xbox, people, they barely sell Xboxes nowadays. I don't know why they think it was a good idea. Like, that was some blind greed right there. Meanwhile, though, we've seen some publishers pushing prices in other directions. One of the most praised RPGs of this year, Claire Obscure Expeditions 33, launched at $50. Survival game Dune Awakening is also launched at $50. And that's what I think it is. The AA games that are launching at from $30 to $60 now are where the good games are happening right now. Like, the AA games are like really good, and Outer Worlds 1, which is a game I really enjoyed, it was a AA game, and I think I'm going to enjoy Outer Worlds 2, but I'm slightly worried about it because maybe with Microsoft behind it now, they were told to do stuff. I hope not, because it's hard to trust Microsoft with anything they do now, because I have absolutely no idea what their plan was when it comes to buying all of these companies, and it feels like Obsidian is the only one that they've kept, I guess, other than Bethesda and the Activision Blizzard stuff. But like they've shut down all the other acquisitions, it feels like, and they just have the IPs now that they're never going to do anything with because it looks good on paper, I guess. So it's hard to say. I'm glad that Outer Worlds 2 is being priced down to $70, but I think it was stupid that they even thought it was a good idea, and I don't like how they're making it look like they're the heroes for doing this, because they're the ones who put up the price originally. And I think it's hilarious that they're using in line with current market conditions, because that was literally the line they said when they decided on the $80. Like, I'm sorry, but the market conditions don't change that fast. So I think they were just blind, honestly. It was blind greed, and they don't want to admit that, obviously. So it is interesting that they've committed to the $70 for holiday releases as well, but that just means the next couple months. I'm assuming next year they're going to go full force for $80, and I think games are going to just sell less. Honestly, I just think they're going to sell less because people are getting sick and tired of these AAA video games that are charging more, not having enough content in them, or being broken, and then also charging a battle pass and microtransactions in a single player game. Though that might just be Ubisoft, to be fair. Maybe I'm a little slightly scarred from Ubisoft games nowadays. So who knows when it comes to Microsoft, though. I hope Obsidian still keeps chugging along, because I've really enjoyed the Obsidian games as of late. I enjoyed Avowed, I've enjoyed Grounded. Grounded 2 recently came out, and I'm gonna wait until that one comes out of fully early access. I enjoyed the Outer Worlds. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy the Outer Worlds too. I think Obsidian has been killing it recently. I don't think Obsidian is as good as they used to be when it comes to like the writing quality. While I do enjoy the Outer Worlds, I think the writing was it was kind of mid. It had some good moments, but I kind of wish it was slightly more serious. And some of the jokes did fall flat with me. But I mean, with humor, it's very subjective. But even without the humor, I think there could have been better writing in the Outer Worlds. So I do hope that the writing teams are getting more experienced within Obsidian. And Avowed's writing wasn't bad. Once again, it's not bad, but not what people remember, because most of the people that did work at Obsidian, I feel like, have left for the most part. And it's a relatively new team. Now, there are obviously veterans in Obsidian, and there's tons of them, but I do feel like the writing has definitely changed when it comes to Obsidian, and that's totally fine. Like I said, I still very enjoy the game, but I really hope that they update or learn from their experiences. Like from Outer Worlds 1 to Outer Worlds 2, I really enjoy the setting and like the whole capitalist extremism basically in the world, and I just really hope that even though there's tons of jokes and stuff, I do want a slightly more serious, because I don't want to, like, obviously the game's got to be fun, it's got to be joyful, because realistically I don't see this type of world ever existing without being tons of sarcasm in there, with people being completely just detached from real life. But I would like some like 1 or 2 serious quests, you know what I mean? Or just not even serious quests. I guess serious is a weird word because it just depends, but like more deeper quests, I'm guessing, not just face value quests, I think is what I'm trying to look for. But yeah, I'm excited for Outer Worlds 2. I'm glad that they dropped down the price. Hopefully they keep doing that. I'm not super hopeful for next year, but we'll see. It's hard to be hopeful for Microsoft because I just don't understand what they're doing. But thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. 95% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you disliked it. I completely understand. If you'd like to support me directly, please join the Patreon, found linked down in the description, where you will join the credits of all the people that are also on the Patreon. Comment down below what you guys think about this. You just heard my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.